The world watched in shock as Napoleon, once seen as unstoppable, marched toward a final battle that would change Europe forever. Yet the truth behind his defeat still surprises many today. People know Waterloo ended his reign, but few understand the strange events that led to his downfall, and the hidden choices that sealed his fate long before the guns fired. Three huge twists shaped this battle: a surprising delay that changed everything, an unexpected arrival that crushed his plans, and a final mistake that experts still argue about today. But the real story is far more gripping than simple maps and dates. And what happened on that muddy field still shapes how leaders think about power and failure. Let me show you exactly how this happened, because the chain of events that led to Napoleon's crushing defeat contains lessons that echo across nations and generations even now. Before dawn on June 18th, dark clouds gathered over Belgium, turning the fields into thick mud, slowing armies and confusing commanders who needed clear ground to fight well. Napoleon hoped speed would win him the day, but heavy rain slowed his cannons and ruined his perfect timing, creating delays that would haunt the entire French plan. Across the ridge, the Duke of Wellington waited calmly, using strong high ground to protect his men. And according to many accounts, he picked his positions with sharp intuition. Sources suggest he walked the field the night before, choosing places where his soldiers could hold firm, hide from enemy fire, and surprise the French when needed. Meanwhile, far away, the Prussian commander Blucher was recovering from earlier battles, yet reportedly swore he would return to help Wellington, no matter how broken his army felt. Most people never hear this next part, but Napoleon did not expect the Prussians to recover so quickly, and this assumption created a massive blind spot in his strategy. Now here's where things get really interesting, because almost every decision that morning carried hidden risks, and one small change could have flipped the outcome in strange ways. When the French advanced, they moved with force and confidence, yet the wet ground slowed their cavalry charges, making them far less deadly than Napoleon needed at that moment. If you try walking through deep mud with heavy boots, you know how each step pulls you down, and that same drag ruined the sharp timing of French attacks. The first major shock came when French troops hit the strong farmhouses of Hougoumont and La Haye Sainte, places that looked small but held huge tactical importance for Wellington. These buildings acted like anchors, slowing French attacks and pulling them off course. And that extra time mattered more than anyone realized because another threat was quietly approaching. But if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear how one single arrival on the battlefield completely shattered Napoleon's hopes and changed the entire war within hours. Blucher and his Prussians marched back into the fight, reportedly moving with fierce determination, and their appearance on the French flank crushed morale like a sudden, unstoppable wave. This was the second major revelation of the battle, because many believed the Prussians were finished, yet they returned with enough strength to tilt the balance against Napoleon. Imagine fighting with everything you have and suddenly hearing thousands of enemy troops arriving on your side, pushing your lines back and breaking your sense of control and direction. Experts say Napoleon underestimated this return, and that misjudgment created a chain reaction, shaking the French army and stretching it far beyond what it could handle reliably. Plot twist: Wellington had been counting on the Prussian return, and once he saw them arriving, he knew the moment had come to launch his final powerful counterattack. This brings us to the most shocking discovery of all, because Napoleon still had hope late in the day, but one last gamble would destroy that hope completely. As the sun lowered, Napoleon sent his famous Imperial Guard forward, the undefeated core of his army, and many soldiers believed their arrival always meant victory was close. But this time, their charge faced heavy fire, muddy ground, and hidden troops, and witnesses reported the Guard began to falter, something the French army had never seen before. When the Guard broke and retreated, fear swept through the French lines, and the sight of these elite troops falling back created a shockwave that shattered morale instantly. For the first time many could remember, soldiers yelled that the Guard had withdrawn, and this single moment reframed the entire battle, turning order into collapse across the field. So what does all this mean for us today? And why does a centuries-old battle still matter to people watching from every part of the world right now? It shows how overconfidence can blind even the strongest leaders, how small delays can break the biggest plans, and how teamwork between allies can shift history in huge ways. It also reminds us that powerful people fall not from one giant mistake, but from many small problems stacking together until the weight becomes too heavy to manage well. Waterloo teaches that timing, terrain, and trust matter more than pride, and that even a mighty empire can crumble if its leader underestimates hidden forces rising in the distance. Before we wrap up, there's one final thing you need to know. A detail many overlook, yet it closes the loop of this entire dramatic story with stunning clarity. Many believe Napoleon lost only because of the Prussian arrival, but sources suggest he already faced defeat earlier due to miscommunication, exhaustion, and the loss of key commanders. The bigger twist is that his empire had been cracking long before Waterloo, and this battle simply exposed every weakness he carried into the final fight for his legacy. This ties back to our opening question, because the real truth behind Napoleon's crushing defeat is not just the mud, the mistakes, or the Prussians, but the burden of past decisions. If this opened your eyes, then you'll want to explore more stories of turning points where great leaders rose, fell, and changed the world in ways still felt today. Napoleon's fall shows how power without caution collapses fast, and how a single day of pressure can reveal truths hidden beneath years of victories and brilliant moves across Europe. His defeat shaped modern borders, future wars, and the balance of nations that still influences global politics, reminding us that one moment can echo through centuries with lasting force. To keep learning these powerful stories, make sure you join this journey, because history becomes exciting when we see how every choice connects and changes the path of human events. For more deep moments like this, subscribe, like, and comment your thoughts. And tell me which legendary battle or historical figure you want explored in our next episode.